Hey, it's Mech and welcome back to Tryouts Follow-Up. It's been another year, another 51 episodes, this being 52. Season 2 is done, so 2 seasons of tryouts, 2 years worth of tryouts in the books, 104 episodes including this one and the other follow-up, which is over 100 games at this point. Because I've done multi-game episodes. Whatever. I've done a lot of these. And if you don't remember from last time, the follow-up is where I just go over all the games that passed from the last season, this being Season 2, since our last follow-up, and see if my stance has changed, or if I question my judgment, or if it's exactly the same, or what. Just following up on them. So we're gonna start from, all the way back. I don't even know when I did the episode on the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World game. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game complete edition, I think is what the full title is. I've been playing it here and there, but I'm not that good at beat-em-up games, so I've been very slow going at it. But I am slowly getting through it, and I do plan to make a wrap-up when I get done with it. Well, when I get done with it, and also the big collector's edition that I got through Limited Run Games actually finally gets here. It's been in production for a while. Hopefully that is coming soon, but I haven't heard an update on it in a little while. But after I get that and I finish the game, there will be a wrap up. So stick around, stay tuned for that. The next game that passed a tryout around here for Season 2 was a Switch game actually, and I think it was the first Switch game I featured on the channel. And this was Cattails. I played an in-game year and a half or so, and I kind of fell off after that. I still think the game is pretty alright, and I think I've played my fill of it, at least for now. So yeah, Cattails is alright still. Alright, the next game I have here to talk about is Aragami, which I played on, I believe, the Xbox One. I stopped playing the game around halfway through for one reason or another. It's been a while, so I can't really remember. I think I got stuck on a level and just got too frustrated and just gave up on the whole game. But I don't really remember, it's been a while, so I don't know, I wasn't going to re-download it to find out. So the next one here on my script is one that I forgot to actually put points for. I didn't realize I hadn't finished, but it's Red Faction 2, one of those original Xbox games I played a while back. I know that I don't think that I finished it, and I don't have it installed anymore. So I must have just sort of stopped playing, and when I came back, I was like, nah, I'm not really feeling this. So that was Red Faction 2. The next game that passed its tryout on the list here was Stacking, which is a little Double Fine game, if I remember correctly, that is about Matryoshka dolls, sort of, and I actually totally finished Stacking. I did it to 100%, the base game, then I bought its little DLC expansion, and I also 100% that, because I was having a good time with it. It is a fun, short adventure, and I definitely recommend it, if that's what you're into. As for the next game here, which is Octopath Traveler, I don't believe I've really played any more of it since I did the video, so, whoops. I mean, JRPGs are long, and they're not generally my thing that I play, but I would like to at least play more of Octopath Traveler at some point. So it's still on my list to get to. And still installed, I believe. We also had Override Mech City Brawl. I didn't realize that I passed this one. When I was going back through, I was like, really? Huh. Because I'm pretty sure I uninstalled this one, like, immediately. I mean, I guess I had a decent time with it. I just didn't play anymore or keep it installed. And so maybe I shouldn't have passed it on its tryout. I don't know. I just didn't play much more of it. This next one was one of PlayStation games I've done on the channel. One of the short list of PlayStation games I've done. Medieval. I bought this so that I could, you know, have it, play it. And I played through some of it for the video, and then I don't think I've played much more of it, mostly because I don't play on the PlayStation that much. These days, I've been mostly playing on the PC, so I don't even play that much on my Xbox or even the Switch that's right here. So, mostly been playing the PC, so I haven't really played much more of Medieval, but I do plan to get back to it and finish it eventually, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. So this one was Vicious Attack Llama Apocalypse. I didn't realize I passed this one either.
Pistol.
I don't believe I played more of it or kept it installed for much longer after I did the video. So I'm not sure why I passed this one exactly. Like, it's fine, but like, did I really think I was gonna like play more of it? Like, I don't know what my thought process was there. And then the next game that passed was Dandara. I specifically have the Trials of Fear edition on the Xbox, and I played quite a bit more of this game, but eventually I think I ran into a boss or just couldn't figure out where to go next, one of the two, and was like, you know what, I think I've played enough of this game for my desires, and just sort of stopped playing and uninstalled it. So I didn't quite finish it, but I did have a good time with what I played. The next game that passed after Dandara was Dark Rose Valkyrie, which is a game that I have for the PlayStation. I have a physical copy. I believe I showed off a little bit in the video, but it's a GameStop case copy, which is always lame. I believe I ranted about that a little bit in that video. As for the game itself, I haven't gotten back to it yet for the same reasons that I haven't gotten back to most of the PlayStation games I own. I just don't play on the PlayStation that often. I do want to play more at some point just to see what I think about it further, but I haven't done that yet, so whoops. Oh well, I'll get to it eventually, like everything else. And then I did a tryout on Biomutant at some point after that, and that game also passed. Biomutant was one that I had my eye on for quite a while, because it was one of those games that got announced a lot before, like a long time before it actually released. I played quite a bit of Biomutant, and eventually I'm going to go back and play more of it, but I have since taken it out of my Xbox to play other games for the most part, or just playing other games in other places. For the most part lately, I've been playing like Halo Infinite. Yeah, mostly Halo Infinite, and just Halo in general. I took a long period of time to play all the Halo games before, right around the time Infinite came out. So I stopped playing a lot of other things in lieu of Halo lately. Post Biomutant, the next game that passed a tryout was the Silver Case. And the Silver Case is one that I have been coming back to here and there because I do have a lot of interest in it. But since it is a PlayStation game, I don't play it that much because I don't play the PlayStation that much. I have a lot of PlayStation games that I need to get to, or I would like to get to. I just don't play on the PlayStation as often as I play on everything else. And then I had that month where I did all of the original Xbox games, and only one game passed during that month, and that was Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. However, I said, I'll come back to that game, because I'm interested in it. I did come back to it, and I just wasn't feeling it when I came back to it. I was like, no, I don't really actually want to play this. So, I did have quite a bit of enthusiasm in the video, but when I finally did come back to the game, I just wasn't interested in playing more of it, and so I didn't, and I uninstalled it. So that's the fate of that game. At some point after that, I did the tryout for Hardcore Uprising, which is a game that I didn't realize that I passed. Another one. Mostly because I'm pretty sure I didn't play anymore, and I just uninstalled that game. So I don't know why I passed that one exactly. Maybe I was just sort of like, I am pleasantly surprised that I actually enjoyed my time here. I don't know. But I didn't end up playing any more of it, so. And also within the last season of tryouts, I finally got around to one of those big indie hits, Hades, which I played quite a bit of. But I have since stopped playing as much because the Xbox app on PC, which is what I was playing it a lot through, was just streaming it while I was working to the PC, stopped doing that. It stopped letting me stream from my Xbox properly. And I haven't tried it again in a while, but it just stopped working. And so I stopped playing it as much as I was. So I haven't played Hades in a while, but at some point I will actually put more time into Hades because it is a really good game. Also, during the last year's worth of tryouts, I got around to playing some SNK fighting games for the first time. This, specifically, I did Garo, Mark of the Wolves, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, and The King of Fighters 13. I'm just going to group these all together. I mean, I did them all in one episode. I have them installed because I like having a variety of fighting games installed, because I do like fighting games, but I just don't play fighting games that often, so I haven't really played them since I made the video on them. But I do keep them installed because it's cool to have a handful of different fighting games installed, so you have that bit of variety. The next tryout that passed after the fighting games episode was the game Armello. I have not played any more Armello, mostly because Armello is more of like a board game that you play with your friends. And so I believe I've uninstalled it, mostly because I don't have a lot of friends that have an Xbox, and that's where I have the game. So maybe I'll play more, maybe I'll get it on PC and play it with some of my friends who I know have it at some point, but I haven't been playing it in the time since I made the episode, and I haven't kept it installed on my Xbox. And then the next pass after Armello was Quake. I have not played any more of Quake. I've, in fact, uninstalled it from my PC. But the game was significant because I believe it was the first PC game on the show, which is cool. The fact that I've got this computer that's now under this desk in the last, there's so many things that I've done in the last year. I got this thing. I purchased this thing so that we can make higher quality videos with slightly better video editing. At some point I'll get new video editing software so I can do even slightly or better video editing. I got some lights, which you can't see because they're off screen intentionally. But I got some lights so that I can get better lighting color, so that I can color correct the videos properly. I've really upgraded the setup in the last year, and the whole adventure all started with Quake. Now, the next game here on the list is Slap City, and Slap City I keep installed on my computer, but it's once again also a fighting game, so I just don't really play fighting games that often, despite having, a positive opinion of them. I just keep them installed so that, if I find the time, I can pick it up with someone and play it. But on my own, I don't usually play them. And by this time, we were deep into the beginnings of spooky season, and as such, I played the Resident Evil HD remaster, for the Xbox. As I mentioned in the video, I'm just not in a place as a person where I can really enjoy games that are intentionally made to invoke stress in the player. And so I'm putting off playing any more of Resident Evil until I'm in a little bit of a better place in that regard. Despite being deep in spooky times, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl came out on the Switch, and so I needed to get that and make a video on it because I wanted to. That's mostly why, because I wanted to, because I was kind of hyped for it. I don't really play it that much. I've played it a little bit since making the video, you know, here and there. And I've played a couple times since the new characters have come out. There's Garfield and Shredder who have come out in the time since I made that video. And they're cool, and it's cool. I just don't really have people to play the game with. And so I'm just keeping an eye on its development and, you know, how all that goes. Back on the realm of spooky things, I also played Sea of Solitude, which passed its tryout. And if you want to see the rest of my thoughts on Sea of Solitude, you can click the card and you can get taken to Rapid Bites number 2, where I talk about that game. Also during spooky season, I played the game Carrion on the PC, and I actually I finished this game. It's a really cool game, and I recommend you play it. Probably on the PC, I feel like that's probably where the game controls the best, but maybe it controls just fine on consoles as well. I'm not sure, I didn't play it there. And because one zombie game was not enough for Halloween times, I also played Zombie Army 4 Dead War. I played a bit more of it past what I did for the tryout, but I really just feel like it's sort of a Left 4 Dead thing, where it just plays better when you have co-op partners, people to play with. And so I didn't play that much more. I think I played one level past where I stopped for the video, and then I was like, and I uninstalled it. As for Darkest Dungeon, you can refer to what I said about Resident Evil for why I haven't played any more of that. It's just not something that I want to put myself through right now. But then we had The Medium. That was the next game that passed, and I have actually finished The Medium. It is a really interesting game. It's not, it's not perfect, and most of your gameplay is walking around and checking stuff out. And there was definitely a couple bits where I had to look up what to do because the telegraphing wasn't really pointing me in the right direction.
Hello?
It's cool. It was a cool game. So check that out if you're into cool games. However, Little Nightmares, which was the next game that passed, I think I played a little bit more, but not that much. I do want to finish it at some point, though. Saints Row Gather to Hell is great, though. Like, awesome. Like, I had a great time with that. I don't think I quite got to 100%. I sort of stopped before I got to 100%, but I had a really good time. That was a game that I was just sort of throwing on in the evenings to chill out and play, because I was just having a great time with it. And the next game that passed after that was a tech demo, The Matrix Awakens. It's a tech demo. It's a really cool tech demo. It's a tech demo. I think I still have it installed for now, but it's a tech demo, so I haven't really done anything more with it since the video. And then after that, we had Lost Planet 3 pass, which was a game that I was playing because it was wintry times. And I had a very positive first experience with Lost Planet 3. And then I played quite a bit more of it and ran into a boss that I just could not figure out, and I basically just rage quit and uninstalled the game. I was like, this is dumb, I'm done. The next game that passed after Lost Planet 3 was Sangfroid, Tales of Werewolves. I remembered how to pronounce it. I haven't gotten back to it, mostly because the game is kind of involved, and, you know, I don't have a lot of focused time to play video games, because I do this, and I work a job, so that takes up a lot of my time, leaves me just a little bit of time to do any other activities I'd like to do, and so I don't do that much, like, focused gaming. I do, at some point, want to get back to Sangfroid, so here's to hoping that I can get more time. Just more time. The last game for the wintry season that I did was A Good Snowman is Hard to Build. And that game passed its tryout, and I didn't finish it, but I finished the sort of main map. I wasn't sure when I made the video if there was more after you finish the hedge maze garden thing, but there is more after you finish that. I finished the hedge maze garden thing, got to that much harder, like, challenge section, and I was like, you know what? I had a fulfilling time just doing the first part, so I'm just gonna stop there, because I don't want to... I didn't have to really look up how to do most, like 99% of the puzzles in the first part, and then I got to the second part, and it's a lot less intuitive what you're even supposed to do to begin with, and so I had to look up what even you were supposed to do, and I was like, I don't want to do that. And then after that, the next thing that passed was a AAA clock. It's a clock. I didn't uninstall it, so it's still on my Switch. I don't know. I haven't opened it again, I don't think. But it's still on my Switch, at least, so there's that. As for the RPG Maker Roundup games that passed, it's been too soon. It's been like a week, so I haven't really had a chance to go back to either of those. So I don't have any further thoughts on them. You know, there are the two that passed are still installed on my computer, and I'm going to check them out at some point. So in conclusion here, as a wrapping up, a following up, or whatever you want to do, mixing my series together, just to cap off Season 2 of Tryouts here. Man, I just don't play video games as often as I'd want to. There's so many of these games I just wanted to get back to at some point. I just haven't yet because I'm playing other games. I'm playing games for this show. I'm playing games for wrap-ups. I've picked up a new game that I'm like, that game looks interesting or whatever. Like I said, I played a lot of Halo in December and January. Haven't played as many games as I'd like to. But on the flip side of that, I've been playing games on a lot more platforms in the last year than I was before, mostly because I have more access and the ability to record. I've got an Xbox Series X. I've got a PlayStation 5. We really lucked into finding one available online through Walmart, really early in. We just really lucked into getting into the queue to purchase some on one day. So we have those. I have this beefy thing under my desk now with a capture card in it. I got the Switch that I can record into the capture card. I don't have to do what I was doing with Cattails and the first Dot Cat episode where I was just sort of recording the 30-second clips the Switch does that are in 720. I just got more stuff. I'm doing my best to make this show continue going, play more games on more platforms, and I hope to someday get to feature maybe even games on older consoles that I've never gotten around to. I don't know. We'll see when that day comes. But really, as long as I have unplayed games in my library, there will be tryouts. I don't think that I can play all of the video games I own in my lifetime. So that is a potentially forever. So here's to season 3, and here's to another year of playing video games. It would be really thematically nice if this video would line up with the new year and not February, but that's just how it shakes out. Because it is the middle of February instead. But oh well. That's that. Just how it goes. So here's to another year of games, and another year of tryouts, and all of that jazz. Season 3 will have some different looks to it. I have some new artwork that I've commissioned that I will make a video about for next week. Because next week I'm going to take a break, and then Tryout Season 3 will start 2 weeks from today. So next week I'll try to make a little video where I can showcase off the new thumbnail art stuff that I've got commissioned. So look forward to that next week, and then the week after that, Tryout Season 3 starts. Don't miss it. I'm going to try to make it, more. Just try to take it more. Might do more episodes that feature multiple games, since those seem to, do a little better sometimes. It's hit or miss what does well. Anyway, I've been rambling for a bit. It's been like 40 minutes in recording time almost. So I'm going to leave the video here. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. If you want to keep up with this and other shows, hit the subscribe button. If you go down in the description, you'll find all sorts of links. Got a Patreon, got Bandcamp, got a Redbubble store, got a subreddit, got a Discord server. Go down in the description, click on the links, do the things there. Leave a comment, share the video, do the things. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!